If he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair unless in Donald Trump's mind.
So when you hear about America, you think of a democratic state, people who are fair, people who are just. But no, this thing that happens in Africa, where our president or our leaders rig elections, also Americans are doing it. And they're doing it in the worst way possible. In the video you've just watched, that system has been manipulated to only allow you to vote for Kamala. No matter how hard you try, you can't vote for Trump. No matter how hard you try. You can see the guy struggling, trying to vote for Trump, but he can't. It's a perfect system manipulation. To whose favor? Kamala, those in power. A typical thing that happens in Uganda, a typical thing that can happen in South Africa, a typical thing that happens in Kenya, but now it's happening in the US. The people that lecture us about democracy, the people who come as referees in our elections, but this is what's happening in their country. Trump is being rigged, and US is turning into a dictatorship.
Issues with the programming of the bats, with specifically
Yes.
from Dominion. Why was that only caught in the past few days, and why can't it be fixed? I saw the release.
Yeah, this is a nationwide issue with Dominion voter access terminals in the counties that use them. And the voter access terminals, of course, not all the machines, just the ones that are accessible, have an issue with the straight party voting and a programming issue that's again affected the machines nationwide. And I think all of us that use Dominion machines were unhappy to learn about this during the testing period and as early voting began. So we're working with Dominion to seek accountability on that front, and also are working with our clerks to ensure voters are aware of this programming issue that will require them to ensure they are voting every section on the ballot.
And I think the most painful thing is that Trump is not allowed to complain. Trump is not allowed to say anything. And if he says anything, they change the narrative. But yet, this is the evidence. He's being rigged. And he can't complain. The last time he complained, people say that he was behaving like a dictator. But no, who's the dictator? The one rigging election, or the one complaining that, no, you're stealing from me. You're stealing my votes. You're messing with some things. If you can do this outrightly, what are you doing behind the scenes? What are you really doing? And Trump is not allowed to say that. I know most of you don't follow American politics, but it's sad to see the great America is falling. And lately I'm realizing that Democrats are the worst human beings. It's even hard to support Obama, even though he's from our country. It's hard to support him if they're doing this to another candidate. This is what Obama, Joe Biden, and Kamala are doing to Trump and his supporters. And the most painful and the worst part of the American politics is that the media is biased. Media is biased. Listen to this conversation.
Does it seem like this week Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities? And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair unless in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it. And I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw
Jonathan,
that
I've
work
got to
out
speak
last
up.
time, but it didn't work out this time.
Finish, Hugh.
It may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go home. So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful. We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right and he won in court. That's the story.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't
I won't
based
come
in
back,
fact.
Jonathan. I'm
But
done. I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
so Ruth, you wrote a column this week ending with this line, and actually I think this is perfect.
So the media is extremely biased, and they have picked sides. So there's the media team that supports Kamala, and there's the media team that supports Trump. So Fox is for Trump. The others like CNN, BBC, MSNBC, those are for Kamala. So regardless of what happens, they will never report the accurate news. They only report the side that fits their narrative. So listen to these two guys engage in a very heated argument over the so listen to this guy. So these two guys were involved in a heated argument because one journalist is very biased and the other one had to call him out because it's unfair to Trump. It's unfair to Trump supporters. It's unfair to the world to see America bleeding. This is unfair. This is unfair. I thought the American elections were free and fair, but if this is happening in America, we look up to this. It's so sad.